Greetings, superior beings, greetings, supreme being. Welcome to Universal Peace channel on YouTube. This is the broadcast. Could SpaceX be real because they are not NASA? Tesla car in outer space could be real? Question mark. So broadcasting is working at the moment. I've jotted down a little intro and then I can show you more stuff that's available online. So let's first do that.
I think SpaceX could be real because they are not NASA. The glitches in the videos do not prove that it's a hoax because if the digital signal reception strength required to relay the signal is not sufficient, these types of glitches, where mainly moving things on the video produce a screensaver-like visual effect, occur. NASA's own videos showing sound on the moon, which is impossible, no sound in a vacuum, prove beyond any reasonable doubt the Apollo moon landings are fake, a hoax or scam perpetrated by the NASA Freemasons doing their Masonic handshakes in space and wearing their Masonic rings. Top 10s of things that prove the Apollo moon landings are a hoax, fake, are found on YouTube as well, but often the best evidence is left out and bogus evidence is inserted in the controlled opposition people's top 10. They often use the word debunking to avoid using the words evidence and proof to hide their crimes. 2 pictures supposedly taken on Mars show Mojave Desert squirrels proving the Mars rover material is fake. Hubble may be fake as well, and they use a telescope mounted on a plane in reality. The Chinese Masons had a fake lunar exploration module as well. The color of the sand gives it away already, very sloppy. Bubbles from space suits prove the spacewalks, or EVAs as NASA likes to call their spacewalks, prove they were recorded in a tank, and NASA is faking their spacewalks as well. Other material shows NASA uses virtual reality contact lenses and a green screen, chroma keying to create the illusion these astronauts are handling items in a zero-gravity environment. Zero-gravity planes are used for some of the scenes, which are sometimes pre-recorded, sometimes live. A wire harness is used to fake astronauts in weightlessness on the ISS. Silence of the LEMs, the Lunar Explorer module's silence, because NASA's own videos of sound on the moon prove beyond any reasonable doubt they faked it. EVA, evil biblical connotations as well. The Jesuits are the wolves, and to them the people are the sheep. Clear from the wolves on the Jesuits' coat of arms.
So the things that they produce qua SpaceX, I haven't found anything that really proves that SpaceX is fake, that the Tesla car in space is fake. So if you have any evidence, please let me know. Please Skype ProLogic999. You can be live in this broadcast. Tesla's car in space fake? Question mark. And it would be based on this thing. So perhaps it was edited to make us think that this is a glitch or something, so people are wondering what's this. This is the car, and it's a real car, a big one, not a model. I first thought it was a scale model car in space, a Tesla Roadster or whatever. Perhaps an electrical car. Some people have claimed that its tires would explode if it would go into space because of the vacuum in space. And there cannot be sound in space because there is no air, no air molecules to vibrate. Your eardrum means no sound. The mic cannot pick it up. And NASA have admitted this themselves, that there is no sound in space. You can also prove it with a vacuum chamber with a bell in it ringing, and then when you pump the air out there's no sound, and when you let the air back in then the sound is back. That video is also on YouTube. But this is just the thing in the rocket that is, and then it basically perhaps with a small explosion, the rocket is removed from the car basically, or from the rest of the rocket, on which the car is mounted actually. And you can also see that in the picture, the thumbnail that I'm using for this broadcast. That's this one. So here you see, in the video you can see that these, what are they, cover plates of the rocket basically are removed, and then the car is supposedly floating like this. But I was wondering about the cameras as well. If you have a camera on the left side and on the right side, then with one camera you would be able to see the other one. And then there are other things happening. If there's no water in space, there cannot be ice in space. So then what are these? Some people think they're bubbles in space. Michael Jackson's monkey was also called Bubbles. So this video does not prove that it's fake at all. Or does it? Is there something in it that I'm missing that proves that it could be fake? And the Earth is of course oblong. It's almost a perfect ball, almost a perfect sphere. The Earth is not flat. And that's easy to prove. There are 3 ways to prove that. One thing is, for example, already you can know that, or think, well, then it's plausible because the moon is observable from Earth and you can clearly see that it's a ball-shaped moon. The other thing is the Coriolis effect. That's the fact that not meteors, but not thunderstorms, cyclones, and in Florida they sometimes have hurricane warnings. Hurricanes, for example, on the northern hemisphere, they spin in the opposite direction of the southern hemisphere. And you can also do this test with a swimming pool that you drain and then drop some ink in it, and then you can see the swirl of the swimming pool. So it swirls in a certain direction, either clockwise from the top or counterclockwise. And there are people on YouTube that have tested this on the northern and on the southern hemisphere, and they know that that Coriolis effect is real, and that also proves it. But the best way may be overlooking a bay. One of these flat earthers is called Eric Dubé, and he may be vegetarian. I like vegetarian people, so we shouldn't blame them, because it's possible they are extorted with these directed energy weapons as well. So nothing is what it seems. Trust no one. And don't let them play you out against your fellow humans, the innocent civilians they want to depopulate. So the pedo-elite, Jesuits and Masons, are always the ones to tell you your enemies are, but they're never the ones to fight and to die. So the third way is overlooking a bay, and then the buildings on the other end will seem to be partially underwater, if the bay is big enough, basically, and that's because of the Earth's curvature, and that proves beyond any reasonable doubt the Earth is ball-shaped. So you can prove it to yourself. You don't have to go all around the world or to Antarctica to prove anything like that. But there is plenty of material, also new videos of people that claim that they think that SpaceX is a hoax, that it's fake. I didn't mean to close the previous tab that may have contained videos I wanted to show. And now the selection is probably different. So you can rewind. Everything wrong with SpaceX car in space. Well, then I can review that and see if it holds any water, or if I can quote debunk and quote them. So they use the words debunk and other words to avoid using evidence and proof, because they don't want to go to jail, and they don't want people to know that what they did is a crime, and scamming the people, mainly the American taxpayers, qua money, but the world, you could argue, into believing that they landed on the moon. So there are other top 10s, and I also made a top 10 because my channel with evidence was illegally censored, I'm re-uploading the evidence also to other channels on Dailymotion and on PewTube, not YouTube but PewTube, and you can find these via universalpeace.jimdo.com. This page, and in my first videos I will make this clear. Here on the right side you see my channels and blogs. So I'm also focusing on controlling the factors that control aging in time, less spending on fake or real trips to Mars, and the nuclear arsenal, new nuclear weapons for $1 trillion. President Trump and the New York Times made this clear. And not spending it on that, but on controlling the factors that control aging instead, so we can live happily eternally, because everything is energy, including time, according to some scientists. I know time travel is possible, but I wonder if time is energy as well. So if you can prove that one way, or in an easy way, so that laymen or whatever can understand it, then please Skype Prologic 999. So let's watch part of this, and then I'll reflect upon what they're saying in their video. So I'm doing a review of the video Everything Wrong with SpaceX Car in Space by Astronaut.
This is just a normal car. Normal air-filled rubber tires, no space paint, no nothing, no space-hardened components or extra materials, just a normal car. Everything else they send up there has to be protected from the harsh conditions of space and has to be made out of space-hardened materials and lots of gold foil, but this car doesn't have to be, I guess. This blue marble in the background doesn't show any continents, but who cares? I mean, as long as they show something blue and round and with non-moving clouds, I guess it's fine.
Minor detail.
Oh boy. According to all space agencies and all mainstream media, the space up there is absolutely cluttered with space debris. So I don't even see how they can go more than 5 minutes without crashing into anything, but alright.
Let's look close to home, in orbit around the planet.
So where are the satellites, where are the stars?
At the International Space Station. A piece of bare metal in space under constant sunlight can get as hot as 260 degrees Celsius. If they need to handle bare metal, they wrap it in special coatings or blankets to protect themselves. And yet in the shade, an object will cool down to minus 100 degrees Celsius. In space, it's as cold as it can get.
You know what? Why don't we put a whole Tesla Roadster into a giant oven, bake it a little at 260 degrees Celsius, and afterwards freeze it down to 100 degrees below 0 Celsius. And we do it all in some giant vacuum, I mean, can you use your critical thinking skills on this and not just accept anything you are told on TV and by the mainstream media? This is so retarded, so ridiculous, guys. And please have a look at their live stream. You can easily see here that in the live stream, these boosters landed on white circle landing pads with an X in the middle. And in this official SpaceX footage, which is labeled recorded live on 6th February this year, 2018, they show different landing pads. Yeah, but if you have no problem with edited live footage and looped live footage, then have a look at this live stream, which claims to be live from Starman now, but it's just the same looped footage over and over and over again. I hope at least some of the die-hard SpaceX fans watching this may begin to think about what they are celebrating here and can open their eyes to the truth. God bless you guys. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.
How would you do that?
You'd warm it up. Just warm it up. If you
With
want
a blanket or with what? How would you warm Mars up? You know, it's a
the
long
fast
way away from the sun.
There's the fast way and the slow way.
Okay. Give me the fast way.
The fast way is drop thermonuclear weapons over the poles.
You're a supervillain. That's what a supervillain does.
Yeah.
So I'm noticing the audio is the music is loud compared to the voices, the sound level of the voice. So that looks pretty complicated. Launch, ascent, aerodynamic guidance, booster entry burn, booster separation, flip maneuver, booster boost back burn, stage separation, flip maneuver, booster boost back burn, fairing separation, payload separation. So this is following another route, and this one goes back to Earth, vertical landing. That seems reasonable. Yeah, it looks pretty real. So I turn off the audio for the viewers. Tesla playing Bowie and Bowie playing Tesla. They were playing Bowie songs also. Of Nikola Tesla's death ray, the torture weapon of these Jesuit pedophiles that are trying to depopulate Earth and rule the world from Jerusalem to impose their Satanic Luciferian global government. A totalitarian global government, mind you. But of course they pretend that the opposite is true. So they removed the mirror so we don't see the fourth wall. supposedly they write on the screen in this video, everything wrong with SpaceX car in space. Cross sign. Here, this doesn't look like Elon Musk at all. This looks basically like a zombie Elon Musk. I'm just checking this out. I don't know if his skull and bones are associated with them or anything. I just saw one picture with the Bones logo and stuff. It's only a picture. Far less secretive society, the Explorers Club. The super elite club that counts Elon Musk, James Cameron and Buzz Aldrin as members. And Buzz Aldrin was of course involved in the Apollo moon landing hoax. Apollo moon landings hoax. So I can do another top 10 of main things that prove that Apollo moon landings are fake. And the number one reason, the number one thing that proves it is of course NASA's own materials showing sound on the moon, an astronaut moving a plate, and when it falls you clearly hear it fall pretty loudly. And another video where an astronaut throws a cable and it hits the Lunar Explorer module, and you can clearly hear that as well. And on the moon that's absolutely totally impossible, so it was definitely shot in a studio. That's proven beyond any reasonable doubt. These are NASA Masons, and some people keep on lying though they know it's fake with that grin on their face, you know. Anyway, so if they're members of this, or if they erected this, that doesn't mean that they're not Freemasons or Skull and Bones or anything. It doesn't prove anything. Freemasons, Elon Musk, SpaceX, and Jeff Bezos, Blue Origin, fake space. Perhaps I have to download this before it disappears or something. I can review this. Speech impediments are made with their beam also, to make me seem like a retarded person or mentally impaired person.
Freemasons, Elon Musk, SpaceX and Jeff Bezos Blue Origin fake space rocket programs exposed 1779 Tharkak here.
Fahark here, the speech engine seems to turn it into something else.
Jeff Bezos are Freemasons taking part of the worldwide deception. This is a re-upload from my previous channel showing how Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos are Freemasons taking part of the worldwide deception when it comes to the space program. Before breaking down the SpaceX hoax, the video footage of the supposed launch of that rocket that supposedly distributed 11 satellites in space. Complete farce. Let's break down Elon Musk, who heads SpaceX, of course. Understand he's part of the exclusive club of Freemasons, the so-called elite. Let's take a look at this article from the Business Insider from back in 2014. Takes a peek inside the super elite club.
So I have the volume on max, but it's still very soft. And my mic could also be a bit louder. So remember to check your mic level when you're broadcasting so that it's not way too soft for people. They do it by controlling our minds, and also they can influence the signal, but usually they do it by controlling our minds with synthetic telepathy. And not recognizing this will not make us switch off the brain control machine.
That counts Elon Musk, James Cameron, and Buzz Aldrin as members. It's all going to make sense by the time I get to the actual footage and break it down. Just reading some of the text here. World history is full of secret clubs with elite members like the Skull and Bones, the Freemasons, and the Illuminati, shrouded in mystery. I'm not going to read the whole article. Basically, it talks about Jeff Bezos of Amazon. It talks about Buzz Aldrin, Neil Armstrong, James Cameron, and of course, SpaceX founder Elon Musk. Not only does this article state that Elon Musk is part of this club, he's going to show it with signs and symbols. And this is how the Masons communicate. Take a look from this Masonic encyclopedia, where it states, out of evil comes good. However, and the confusion of tongues gave rise to the ancient practice of Masons conversing without the use of speech. That's exactly what you see here. And this is the reference to the Skull and Bones Society that he's a part of. There's, of course, a skull, and here is the bones. And I'm going to show that logo, which is right here. I'm going to show other members as well. Out of evil comes good. However, and the confusion of tongues gave rise to the ancient practice of Masons conversing without the use of speech. That's exactly what you see here. And this is the reference to the Skull and Bones Society that he's a part of. There's, of course, a skull, and here is the bones. And I'm going to show that logo, which is right here. I'm going to show other members as well. Skull and Bones 322. George Bush, former president. You can see the Skull and Bones here. Here is George Bush. I'm going to show his son and John Kerry as they were questioned about being members of Skull and Bones.
You both were members of Skull and Bones, a secret society at Yale. What does that tell us?
Not much, because it's a secret.
Is there a secret handshake? Is there a secret code?
I wish there were something secret I could manifest.
322, a secret number?
There are all kinds of secrets, Tim, but one...
You were both in Skull and Bones, the secret society.
It's so secret we can't talk about it.
What does that mean for America?
So there are sources online that claim this presenter, Tim Russert, was later murdered for asking them if they are Skull and Bones members. There's also a video on YouTube of a student that asked John Kerry if he's a Skull and Bones member, and he was tasered by police, almost tasered to death.
The conspiracy theorists are going to go
I'm
wild.
sure they are. I don't know. I haven't seen the web.
Number 322.
And again, taking a look at the Skull and Bones logo, with of course the bones being an X itself, that's a representation of Satan. That's all going to make sense when I get to the heart of the matter when it comes to the SpaceX project, which is nothing more than a psyop, a hoax. Taking a look again at the X symbolism, representation of Satan. That's all going to make sense when I get to the heart of the matter when it comes to the SpaceX project, which is nothing more than a psyop, a hoax. Taking a look again at the X symbolism with Aleister Crowley, called the wickedest man in the world, the beast himself. Mary J. Blige, who's just a puppet in the game. She's told to do this. Not saying she's an actual member. Here's Whitney Houston's funeral with someone in attendance doing the skull and crossbones, the X logo as well. There's some more puppets in the game. I am not saying all of them are members.
So this proves they are zombies, doesn't it? It's a zombie buried like this and stuff. Or perhaps they are zombie wannabes. It's possible. It's not unthinkable.
But they're definitely puppets of the so-called elite, with Simon Cowell. You see Bam Margera, guy from Run DMC, Ozzy Osbourne. All puppets in the game doing the signs and symbols. Talking about Simon Cowell, those that don't believe this all connects with Freemasonry, take a look at his jet ski.
Of course, I mean, like a joke, real zombies don't exist, like trolls don't exist. And so it shouldn't be taken too seriously. I'm not into dehumanizing people. They are.
These Masons love to brag and love to show off their power, always in plain sight. And like I showed in that article before, in the Business Insider, it stated James Cameron, the very famous movie director from Hollywood. And what do you see? With signs and symbols from his Aliens movie, one of the actors wearing a Masonic ring. Also mentioned in that article is Buzz Aldrin, of course, the famous astronaut who's never been in space. This is the Masonic ring, Masonic postcard with the symbol. Another person mentioned, of course, was Neil Armstrong. And you see the Masonic handshake. And understand all of these so-called Freemasons at the very top. I'm not talking about the Freemasons that you see at your local pub or the ones that go to your local lodges. Lower level Masons are deceived by the upper level Masons. These are more high-ranking Masons. You see at the top. You take a look at this image, and this is from CNN's website. It looks innocent enough with Neil Armstrong baking pizzas. But again, it's all about things hidden in plain sight, Easter eggs, as some might call it. What do you see right behind Neil Armstrong? This plaque, it says, God is made up. Don't confuse me with facts. Also, another little Easter egg. You see the newspaper on the counter. Let's take a look at the close-up of it. What do you see? It says demon upside down. Satanists like to turn things upside down like it says in the Bible.
Yeah, and how do you know it's not Novichok? Yummy yummy in your tummy.
Some might not believe this is, legit. There's a lot of fakery online. Oh, if it's on the internet, it must be true. Well, here you go. This photo is from CNN's official website. For the doubters out there, you can take a look at yourself. I included the URL, so again, you could take a look. You can analyze this photo for yourself if you don't believe me. Talking about players in the game, again, to make it on top of this world, you must be a Freemason. There is no other way. Take a look at Arnold Schwarzenegger. Again, they love to brag and show who they are affiliated with in plain sight. With this buckle here. And of course, you know, his father was a Nazi during World War II. And of course, the skull.
So basically I'm still anti-Hitler. So I'm not Eric Dubé, I'm not a Hitler fan. Despite the fact that Hitler shut down the Rothschild banks, kicked all Freemasons out of the ranks, opened up the lodges for the public to see, and freed Germany from Jewish usury. He wanted to create a global government that these people are still pursuing. Third Reich, Neuordnung. So he wanted centralization, power to the pedo, instead of decentralization, power to the people, to the peaceful. That's what it's really about.
Bones with this Nazi here. Another image of Arnold. Again, signs and symbols with this belt buckle, where you're looking at him.
Well, perhaps they see it as art. I also wear a skull type of thing, addiction. And I like the Terminator movies and Arnold Schwarzenegger in movies. I think many people do. Burning Hollywood. Tinseltown and everything. So these witches in Hollywood burn wood from the holly tree. It's perhaps a little bit of utterly useless information for you all.
You're not looking at the belt buckle, the skull and bones. Here's with the Russian president. You see the skull and bones ring. How clear can this be? Again, in the Masonic book, where it states signs and symbols. This is how they communicate, saying how they're aligned with those that run this world. Now here's Glenn Beck. I believe this is with his wife or his girlfriend, whatever the case. Again, in plain sight. They love to show off. What's the point of having power?
So I'm here to prove that people that are not Skull and Bones members can wear this as well. The Johnny Depp, Iggy Pop skull ring, basically. So you don't have to be Skull and Bones for that. It's total nonsense. It's CRAP, if I'm not allowed to say that.
And having prestige, unless you can, basically rub it in to those that understand. Most people see this and not understand the meaning. This is why I'm connecting the dots before I get to SpaceX, so people understand what is taking place. More signs and symbols in movies. We're trading places from back in 1981. You see the 322 hidden in plain sight, another Easter egg. And of course, from the very same movie, you get that clock pointing at 9/11. Again, from Trading Places from 1983 predictive programming. I've taken a look at more Freemasons in the game with George Miller, the famous director of the Mad Max series. And what do you see here? The X symbol again. So what I'm doing here, of course, is laying the foundation for the SpaceX. So, most people just show that footage and show the imagery and the hand signs. What I'm doing is basically laying the foundation so there's no confusion. People can understand where I'm coming from.
You could argue it has a tiny bit of relevance, but it doesn't prove that these rocket programs are fake, basically. But it's a long video of over an hour. I don't know if I'll review it completely, but I like some of his videos as well.
Again, with George Miller being the director of the Mad Max series, here's the third movie from that series called Beyond Thunderdome. What do you see hidden in plain sight? The Masonic sign. They're all Freemasons. Every single film director that you see, all these movies that are created are by Freemasons in Hollywood, without exception. So understand, again, going back in time with Confucius, where he states signs and symbols rule the world, not words nor laws. Now again, taking a look at Elon Musk, what do you see here? The famous one-eye symbolism with basically one eye shaded out. This is the image of the one-eyed Antichrist, as I mentioned before. Where it says in the Bible the Antichrist will survive a mortal wound. He'll be blinded in one eye. Now, taking a look here at Sting, same exact thing, the one-eye symbolism. The Beatles as well. People might say this is just a coincidence. People want to believe everything in this world is random. It's not. It's by design. We're going to look at another image, of course, of Elon again. You see him wearing the Tesla shirt. Of course, a reference to his company and the band itself and the two.
Sea energy is more efficient than wind energy.
Lightning bolts and the world, the ball Earth. Another deception. Two lightning bolts are from Luke chapter 10 verses 18 in the Bible, where Jesus said he beheld Satan falling from heaven as lightning. Now, to set up SpaceX, I'm getting to that point, getting near, again with the hand signs of these Freemasons in the game. Donald Trump, Michelle Obama, Angela.
So Michelle Obama's real name is Michael LaVaughn Robinson, and she may be a transgender person. And there are several pictures where you can see her penis, basically. And it's covered by several people. But I think it doesn't matter if the president is good, and Obama didn't create World War III and all that, so then in my book he was a pretty good president anyway. Then all that doesn't really matter, all these that adultery, and you had Clinton with Lewinsky, and now you have Trump and what's her name? whatever.
Merkel of Germany, Adolf Hitler, and so on. This is all going to make sense in a few minutes.
So they covered the Clintons' involvement with Epstein, but they're not reporting so much about Trump and Epstein. That picture we see on Getty Images that you have to pay for if you want to use it, of Trump with Epstein, of the Lolita Island. But you could argue that doesn't prove anything either. So before people make accusations, basically they have to have some kind of evidence, you could argue. But you could also argue the opposite is true, that if these people are criminal, then they are a danger to the American people, and then we should warn until it has been, until their innocence has been proven. And that's not yet. So not to assume anything until we have evidence that proves it one way or the other. That's best. That's a real conspiracy factist, an unbiased person that's not associated with any religious group or other groups. That's what the people need, real news, not the fake mainstream media news.
Again, look at the Prophecy Club, a club of deceivers doing the Masonic hand sign. Taking a look at Bob Lazar, who's pushed the alien agenda.
I think it's a very common way that people hold their hands. It doesn't prove that they are part of a Masonic agency or group or whatever.
With Area 51, another agent in place, as shown in this Illuminati card game from 1995. Nothing but a deep agent pushing the false alien agenda. Aliens do not exist. They are demons in disguise. That's all they are. Now getting on to SpaceX now and understanding. We're going to show a presentation.
So that's dehumanizing someone, and we shouldn't resort to that. But if they are satanic cannibals depopulating Earth, then perhaps that's the proper thing to do. What do you all think? Let me know in the comments. Or via Skype ProLogic999 to be live in this broadcast. And please notify other people that my channel is back online, spread the evidence, and create the future we all want. A perfect society in which we all will live happily eternally. Think about ways to do that, what should be changed. And I think the best way is to keep what we have, to keep the system, but to alter it. I'm not for destroying the system or for getting rid of 7 billion people. I'm for the opposite. My anti-human culling and depopulation Facebook page also makes that clear. I still have to add that. I hope I don't forget.
Before they show the
Illuminati card game is definitely interesting to study. Then you can see if it's in the cards.
actual launch, I'm going to include a link to the full video from SpaceX in the description box underneath the video. Before I go there, I want to show the signs and symbols with the employees of SpaceX discussing the project before the launch itself, and you're going to see the signs and symbols of the Freemasons. So again, you're going to understand why I covered all this with all the hand signs of Freemasonry before I show the actual SpaceX, which was nothing more than a hoax, a psyop, nothing more than a mass deception on the masses, making them believe that rockets actually work in space, in the vacuum of space, which it does not. I'm going to show some images here and cover it, and then we'll break it down as I go. Now I'm going to break down SpaceX itself, the employees doing the same Masonic hand signs. So again, people can connect the dots. Let's take a look at this video. Again, I'm going to include the entire video. It's approximately 45 minutes long in the description box below this video. You can see all of it. I'm just going to basically break down segments. You can watch the rest at a later date or later time.
So the truth is like a precious jewel that you can find out there. And I think neither the social media websites nor the MSM produce 100% truth. Of course, it's something to strive for. I strive for it myself, to be a truth teller. So if there are any lies in my broadcast, please Skype ProLogic999. And I think one day I will have millions of views, that it will be a snowball effect, and so I will try to do my best to make better broadcasts. At least the green light is on. So I'm not claiming that on the social media websites people are all writing the truth. Often they copy each other's lies. Often they have their own agenda. And they know that if millions of people view their website, then some of that lie will rub off and have the effect that they desire. Especially if it's done by a neural network that gives them these ideas, etc. That's helping them and exterminating 93% of us.
All systems are go for launch. Payload deployed, Commander.
I found that weird as well, that they're standing in some hall watching a big LED screen or something instead of watching the real rocket take off. It's why would that be? If they would want to fake it, then perhaps it's like NASA using cameras to record a television screen for the supposed live broadcast from space. So they recorded the live broadcast from space with a camera on a television screen. So they first rebroadcast it before they recorded it, and that's not allowed. But I'm gonna get some tea. And then continue my review of this video. I'll turn on the picture show, the image slideshow, with the Windows Spotlight pictures. This one's also nice with the animated pictures that may be nicer. So I'm gonna get some tea. I'll be right back. So then you can fast forward to the point in this video where I will not use the picture show anymore. I'm not going to edit it, then I have to download it and re-upload it. It takes ages. So all this time I could have been playing Outrun Coast to Coast.
Welcome to the live webcast of the SpaceX launch of the Orbcom mission from Launch Complex 40 out of Cape Canaveral, Florida. My name is Lauren Lyons.
She said her name is Lauren Lyons. Now, taking a look at the Pythagorean numerology chart, which is the so-called elite work-off, you'll see again Lauren Lyons. That's LL as in 33, the highest degree in the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry. That's why you come up with names such as in Superman, as in Lex Luthor, Lois Lane. In the music industry, you have LL Cool J. It's all about the occult.
I'm a mission integrator here at SpaceX, and I'm standing outside of mission control at our company headquarters here in Hawthorne, California. Today is not just any old launch for SpaceX. Today's launch represents a series of firsts for us. It's our first flight following our approximately 6-month hiatus following our June 28th anomaly.
Talking about the June 20th anomaly, this is basically trying to make it look legit, like their first mission failed, and they tried again and they succeeded. It looks more realistic when they do it this way, when they state they failed on their first attempt, and they make it on their second try. Again, just makes it look more realistic. If they succeeded in their first attempt, people would be pretty suspicious. With SpaceX, they have a number of commentators, basically a round table doing commentary, breaking down the stats, the specs of the supposed SpaceX. A bunch of young individuals. It kind of reminds me
SpaceX, but I don't see any sex.
Of Saved by the Bell. That's basically what it is, a bunch of Saved by the Bell rejects that they have as part of this roundtable. And again, you're going to see the Luciferian hand signs. It's going to be obvious with this guy right here. Just take a look, and I'll point them out.
The blackness of the
Or perhaps they first have to pay for sex. For SpaceX.
beautiful night skies of Cape Canaveral, Florida, where
Cape Canaveral, that's another thing. Just like I pointed out with LL, with Lex Luthor, Lois Lane, LL Cool J, Cape Canaveral, again, taking a look at the numerology chart.
I visited Cape Canaveral as a child and I had a little plastic astronaut that I later painted silver with a silver pen, basically. It was one of my most prized possessions as a child, and I wanted to become an astronaut.
You're going to have under the same thing of 33. You get CC 33, again, just like LL. And like I pointed out so many times, the highest degree in the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry. That's what it's all about. They love using initials, even events occurring on the 33rd parallel. Just like I've mentioned many times before, with the supposed UFO crash in Roswell, New Mexico, which just so
So then it's CC, not LL. LL is more like 3030 or not. I'm just turning this on and looking at it for the first time. But I've seen a double-headed eagle somewhere before.
happens to be on the 33rd parallel. Same thing. When it comes to CNN and the news, it's located on the 33rd parallel as well. This past Super Bowl in Phoenix, Arizona, on the 33rd parallel. The Pope's visit in 1987 on the 33rd parallel. The Phoenix Lights on the 33rd parallel. I can keep going on and on and on. To continue with the video, Now, talking about signs and symbols, you're going to see more here. As always, in plain sight, just take a look.
Cape Canaveral, Florida, we're about to launch 11 Orbcomm satellites aboard our Falcon 9 rocket, standing tall and proud. I'm Michael Hammersley, a materials engineer here at SpaceX, and I'll tell you a little bit more about what's going on. The 11 Orbcomm satellites are sitting inside the...
And there you go, the devil horns in plain sight. If you think this is just a coincidence, just keep looking.
Inside the nose of the vehicle. Florida is the lightning capital of the United States.
And there you go. Talks about Florida being the lightning capital of the United States. And there you go with the Masonic hand sign. Of course, as I mentioned previously, lightning is a representation of Satan himself. With Luke chapter 10, verse 18, where it states in the Bible, Satan falling from heaven just like lightning. So people will understand now why I made that basic demonstration from the very start of this video. So people have a foundation to understand what's taking place. This is not by coincidence, all by design. People behind the scenes, they don't make it to this position unless they understand what they're doing, who they're serving, what the agenda is all about. Keep continuing with the video, and you'll see more of the same.
That it will cause, there we go, that's the plumes. It will vent.
There's another famous Masonic hand sign. Taking a look at M&M. What you see here, of course, right in plain sight as always. Like I said, signs and symbols rule this world. Taking a look at all the racial psyops. All the same signs. From the Trayvon Martin case to the Mike Brown case to the Walter Scott case. These are all Freemasons, all part of the world stage. What you see on TV is more or less just a movie. Nothing but propaganda, nothing but, in this case, divide and conquer. And with SpaceX, it's just a psyop, a hoax, just like NASA has perpetrated on the masses for so long, making people believe that rockets work in space when they don't. There's no way rockets can work in the vacuum of space, period. Now let's continue with the video and show more signs and symbols with these Freemasons.
Vent and condense the atmosphere around it, just like when you're breathing out on a cold morning, you can see your breath. To the upper right of your...
Now pay close attention to what he says here. It says to your upper right.
Some people think that space travel is impossible. That the main reason is the Van Allen belts. There are two belts they have to go through to get to the moon. Other reasons might be that on Earth a boat displaces water. It pushes the water, and that's the way the boat goes forward, with this propeller that pushes the water. And the planes push the air, and the cars push the road, etc. But in space there's nothing to push, so how would they maneuver the vehicle, etc.? How would that work with physics laws, etc.? Plus others think it's impossible because their spacesuit would be ripped apart because of the vacuum in space. You can test this with a vacuum chamber. It would also be impossible for them to move. And then NASA is claiming that they are pressurizing their suits, so that's even more pressure from the inside, so it would be ripped apart. If you put a balloon, even if the air is almost completely out of it, in a vacuum chamber, then it explodes already. So, and you can see this in these videos of people that let up a balloon into space, and then the balloon pops and the camera falls back down to Earth, and many people have found their camera again somehow. And we can see enjoy these videos on YouTube. It's pretty cool. So the Earth is definitely spherical. It's oblong, not round or ball shaped, but oblong. Though others may claim the Earth is cubical. Now, how much difference does it make?
And he'll talk about the lower left.
To the upper right of your screen, you see a countdown clock, and follow us below on the mission progress bar to see where we are during launch.
Now this is a reference to the Masonic goat god named Baphomet. Taking a look at this image here. This is not, again, by coincidence, but by design. People that don't understand the occult, they're never going to get it. This is those behind the scenes. Understand when Katy Perry is doing this pose, this is not by coincidence. Again, take a look at some more images. Jack Nicholson here doing the same exact thing. If you still believe this is just a coincidence, take a look at Britney Spears. As above, so below. Selena Gomez, same thing, puppets in the game. I am not saying she's a Freemason, but definitely a puppet of those that are Freemasons that own and control this world. Taking a look at Lupe Fiasco. As above, so below reflection. The covering of one eye with the finger. The sign for the Antichrist. Again, you're going to see here Madonna, own variation of it. George Washington, of course, a famous Freemason, doing the same exact symbol. So people can see the connection with Freemasonry. And those that own and control this world are nothing more than Satanists. People believe this country was founded by Christians. Truth is the exact opposite. Now take a listen to the next presenter. Again, another reject from Saved by the Bell. Reading off a script, and you're going to again hear a reference to Freemasonry with the highest degree of being 33 in the Scottish Rite. Just take a listen. Again, it's completely ridiculous with this SpaceX. For those that don't understand the occult, they'll have no understanding, and this will go right over their heads.
We're also going to talk a bit about the many upgrades we made to our Falcon 9 launch vehicle, which includes a 33% increase in the overall vehicle's performance.
Just so happens to be 33% increase in the vehicle's performance. What a coincidence. Give me a break. Can't see through this because you don't understand the occult, you don't understand Freemasonry, and the ones behind the scenes that operate and own and control this world. And again, showing Lauren Lyons, 33, doing the Masonic hand signs. How obvious can it be? Well, let's take a look at this clip here, presenting a person that's been doing interviews with the SpaceX employees. Just watch what he does.
I'm Tim Irvin from Wait But Why.
There you go. And what is he doing? You have the reflection in the back. Understand about the so-called elite and their love for the mirror symbolism. This is all about duality and understanding why he has his arms spread out like this. This is, of course, a reference to Jesus Christ being crucified on the cross. Here's some images with other puppets in the game. Ozzy Osbourne putting the arms out. Same thing with the lead singer Trent Reznor of the group 9 Inch Nails. Understanding, not to get far off topic, basically 9 Inch Nails is a representation of the Roman nails that were used to crucify Christ. That's how you get the name 9 Inch Nails. And if you don't believe this man is a Satanist, just take a look at his shirt here. It says the Satanic Army. Again, understand, you will not make it on top of this world unless you sell out. It's that simple. Now getting back to this geek, this sellout, let's take a look at him and one of the employees from SpaceX as they have a conversation basically. Understand the so-called elite, they like to use younger individuals, but they understand the older crowd, they have already
Buy not 9-inch needles.
been programmed. You try to talk to someone that's older and tell them the moon landing is a hoax, 9/11 was an inside job, they will look at you, of course, like you're crazy. They're beyond hope. Can't teach an old dog new tricks.
So you could argue it's suspicious because it's not 9-inch needles. It's 9-inch nails.
For the most part, there are exceptions to the rules. What they're doing here is they want to reach the younger audience, and that's why they have these younger individuals pushing this complete garbage called SpaceX. And just another example of another presenter for SpaceX doing the Illuminati hand sign, basically sign of the Freemason 33rd degree of the Scottish Rite. Understand, this is exactly what's taking place. It's basically an upside down triangle, an inverted triangle that you see in this woman's hands here. And just like the previous presenter mentioning the 33% increase in performance, she shows a model and says the same exact thing. Again, just more mockery. Take a listen.
We also have a 33% increase to our performance.
It's taller. It's a longer rocket.
Right.
Now take a listen to this guy. Again, another presenter from SpaceX doing the exact same hand signs. Do not listen to a word these deceivers say. Just look at the signs and symbols.
Hi, my name is Trip Harris. I'm the manager of Falcon Recovery here at SpaceX. So right now we're standing on the landing pad. It's made of 282 feet in diameter worth of reinforced concrete. It's all designed to handle the loads of the rocket coming down and landing. One of Elon's stated goals is to bring down the cost of access to space.
And there you go. How obvious can it be? Another liar, another deceiver, all in the same club, showing that hand sign again. The inverted pyramid, the inverted triangle, all the same. I was about to show a demonstration of the Falcon 9 doing a landing on basically a aircraft carrier type of ship, which is completely ridiculous. What are the mechanisms for this supposed rocket to make a vertical landing? Basically a pencil with a thrust. What are the mechanisms to keep it stabilized if it goes off course to make it land straight? It's completely ridiculous how people...
Well, I think it's called a gyroscope, and if they can take off, why wouldn't they be able to land as well?
Buy this. Take a look.
Engine landing bird to do a
Joke.
soft touchdown. All of that happens between 6 and 10 minutes after launch, so it's pretty quick from the time we lift off to the time we land. I've always looked at what we're about to do here as one of those things that people will always remember where they were the first time they heard SpaceX landed a rocket.
Give me a break. Give me a break. Remember? Try to forget this garbage. Let's go back to this clown here, who's supposedly an outsider coming to SpaceX asking questions when he tells you with his hands that he's part of this SpaceX scam, hoax. How people can't see the obvious is beyond me. Take a listen to these phonies, nothing but horrible actors, pretending they're...
No proofs or evidence or what they call anomalies. No anomalies so far. And another theory is that perhaps they are brain controlled by the NASA Freemasons with synthetic telepathy, and they let them do all these hand signals to make it look as if they are Freemasons.
all excited, but they know this is nothing but a complete hoax, nothing but an illusion. That's all they give us.
Though I haven't seen any proof that proves that they're not Freemasons either. They're a secret society, so it's kind of hard to prove or disprove, isn't it? So check online the Illuminati blood oath murders, the Jesuit oath and the Luciferian oath, the oath of these Freemasons all Freemasons are Luciferians. The Lucifer UN.
Take a listen and take a look. Cannot fake real. The only people that buy this have been indoctrinated in the system of lies. Take a listen.
And land on a shoebox on the ground in a windstorm. That's what
That's the critical part. Yeah. I don't think I could throw a pencil over the Empire State Building.
So the UN gets their intel from Lucifer Trust, now called Lucis Trust. The truth is hidden, ain't plain sight.
That's what they're trying to do. And the crazy thing is, we're like 30 seconds away from this.
From this crazy maneuver.
This energetic room is a hush.
Oh my God.
Just getting the last. There it is.
Here's the fake phony show. Take a look at this garbage. Complete crap. They show the supposed rocket landing.
Nice colors, kind of peach.
From this distance, all we see is a lie. Take a look at this garbage. Complete crap. They show the supposed rocket landing. From this distance, all we see is a light. Complete garbage. Complete insult to anybody that has half a brain in their head. Keep on watching. You would think you're at a rock concert. What is this fake enthusiasm for this fake show? There you go with the hand signs again.
And I gave someone a jumping hug. It's hard to understand what a big moment this is. Every single space agency in the world is watching this.
Sure they are. Sure they're watching this. They're all Masons in the game. That includes Russia as well. Russia and the U.S. have always been allies. That fake beef. People say, why won't Russia blow the whistle on the fake moon landing? Of course they won't. The world's a stage. Nothing but players playing the masses for fools.
They did. You guys did. Let's go. And with this confirmation, we have a successful agreement for the second stage. We're making preparations to deploy the Orcon satellite. So we are on a nominal trajectory for the second stage as well.
Two of the...
Now listen to this guy again. This is what you call duping the light. When he's discussing the launching of the supposed 11 shuttles. And take a listen to him carefully. Another reference to Freemasonry. That's all we get through this whole production.
11 Orbcom Generation 2 satellites separating from the second stage of the Falcon 9 rocket. We have cameras for at least some of those deployments, and those will be coming along shortly.
Here's your duping the light. Why is he laughing? He knows it's a fake, phony show. Can't help but bust out laughing. He knows it's not real.
As
yeah, I'd be laughing. I'm laughing too,
now
idiot.
the 11 satellites are mated on 3 tiers.
11 satellites are mated on 3 tiers. Just like the 311 band. The 311 is a code for 33. Of course, 3 times 11, 33. How many times have I said it? Signs and symbols rule this world. 11, 11, 11 is 33. Everything is in plain sight. If you don't understand the occult, it's going to go right over your head. I'm talking about those that have manipulated the masses, all Freemasons. They're all on the same page. Some are higher up, some are puppets, such as Ozzy Osbourne, lower on the totem pole. You have Darwin here, a Mason, Obama, Kerry, Clinton, Bush, all on the same page, playing the masses for fools. Just more signs and symbols. You see Angela Merkel, the Chancellor of Germany, doing the same hand signs. And here with Obama and Michelle, or better known as Michael, again with the same hand sign. How obvious can it be? People have been completely deceived. They are completely blinded by these so-called leaders. Nothing more than Luciferians playing you for fools. They make you believe that we came from apes, from monkeys, that we evolved to what we are today. What are we going to evolve into next?
That's what scientists claim. It's called evolution. Evolution science. It used to be evolution theory. Because some people believe it doesn't rhyme with religion. Religion is an abomination. Religion is an illusion, to quote Freud. Religion is slavery for the mind. I might do another broadcast about evil that is religion. So it's based on the lie that there's something higher than the humans, a higher intelligence. The humans are merely lowly beings, and they have to do the will of the Creator, which is by means of deception, thou shalt do war, and 164 jihad, Quran verses, etc. They have made these religions, it's part of their psychological warfare and real warfare. It's a real war, not an info war. Problem, reaction, solution, and divide to defeat. So these groups are made, left and right, political groups, the religious groups, to give people the illusion that they have a choice and to play these groups, to play their enemies out against each other, to depopulate the earth and accumulate wealth and power.
We have always been humans and always will be. Through the textbooks, through the lies of evolution, they make themselves gods by removing God. That's the whole point. When there's no gods, these are the only ones you have to look up to. They're nothing more than liars and manipulators. Now getting back to the supposed SpaceX and that lie, let's take a look at the launch of the supposed 11 satellites into lower orbit.
Well, you could argue that they were or are more than liars and manipulators if you're talking about the president of the US, basically.
Nothing but CGI.
Spacecraft.
What garbage.
Visual confirmation of satellite deployment.
Fake, phony, horrible.
Mission is continuing to progress
These
nominally.
idiots probably were promised a free shirt, a free jacket, who knows what, just to clap at this fake, phony show. Complete
The reason
rubbish.
that we're staggering these deployments is in order to allow the satellites to have some spacing, to give them their proper location within...
What's up with the way this guy folds his paper? Pretty interesting.
The constellation that's going to provide that continuous global coverage that Lauren was speaking about earlier.
Okay, I'm going to play some previous clips, like I usually do, so people can connect the dots. I'm going to play Amazon's Jeff Bezos' supposed launching of Blue Origin, which is basically as bad as SpaceX. I'll also play my video on satellites. Again, satellites are nothing but a hoax. Spaceflight is nothing but a hoax.
The Apollo moon landings are a hoax for sure, but satellites are observable from Earth, so I doubt if they are a hoax. They also have the Astra satellite for satellite television. And then you have to put the dish in the right direction. So I think satellites are not fake. I have my doubts about ISS. At least there's spacewalks and people in it. There may be a fake space station out there. Others think it's a hologram. It could also be a real space station. It's not behind the Van Allen belts, so that cannot be a reason that it's impossible.
Truth are lies, lies are truth in this world full of deception. I just saw the video of Blue Origin's rocket launch. It's a complete joke, nothing but CGI fakery mixed with some real people interacting on the ground, but overall, nothing but garbage.
He means to them lies are truths. Satanic inversion, because they are guilty themselves and they want to get rid of their enemies, they pretend that their enemies are guilty of the crimes they committed themselves. And they control the judges with these directed energy weapons, so in many cases you cannot use the legal system to do justice. You would have to do it yourself somehow.
Garbage. And I already know what's going to happen with this entire project. Just like Virgin Galactic with Richard Branson, you're going to see a future failure of some sort, and they're going to have to abort the whole program. This is nothing but basically a psyop to make us believe it's possible to...
So the judges are controlled with synthetic telepathy and with directed energy weapon torture. I don't know if they are all Masonic, I'd have to check.
Get in space. Since NASA's space program with the shuttle program is being over, they got to continue the line, this time with these private companies. Take a look at the footage. Nothing but fakery, nothing but CGI. That's all they will give us.
Aft fin check good. LGS check good.
Ready for flight.
T-minus 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Command engine start. 2, 1. Ignition. And liftoff. Max Q. Main engine cut out.
Bunch of phonies.
CC detects separation.
She just said CC detects separation. And CC is code for 33. This is nothing more than a Masonic hoax, a psyop.
PM confirms separation.
Complete garbage, fakery, CGI. What is this crap? Nothing but garbage. You get excited over this? Just watching a video game is all you're watching.
Stroke parachute deploy. Main parachute deploy.
They do here. I'm not saying this is absolutely fake with the parachutes in this pod here. But, you know, this is how they do it. They edit parts of the film. Of course, all you saw was CGI in the beginning. They might, again, you know, had a parachute bring down this capsule. But nonetheless, this is complete garbage, complete fakery. And like I said, the end result is there's going to be some type of, you know, basically something that goes wrong. And they're going to have to scrap this entire program. This is what it's all about. This is NASA, you know, basically the shuttle missions are no longer happening. They got to keep the dream of space alive. And, you know, just a few seconds of the fake ball Earth, that CGI garbage that they showed us.
Touchdown.
PM's at 20,000 feet.
Now this is complete garbage here.
Estimate 10 seconds until engine restart.
How this thing comes straight down out of space and stays in position, doesn't, you know, wobble, and how it comes down for a perfect landing. It's a complete joke.
12,000 feet. 5,000 feet, engine starting. We have thrust.
Reminds me watching a movie.
LGS deploy.
So I forgot to say it, but it may be best not to mention skull and bones at all. If you don't want to die or be tortured to death, etc. So people who mention them are usually heroes, do-gooders.
Fake sound effects.
7 feet per second.
And where's the, like I said, where's the amateur footage for this? You know, this Blue Origin project, you only get the footage directly from them. What about any amateur footage or any other people taking footage of this? Not buying it for a second.
So of course there's a difference in exposing them or showing the world what they want them to see, basically. But in general, I think they don't want to be mentioned at all. Though I have no evidence or proof to base it on, so it's just a theory, which I've planned to indicate because I'm a conspiracy factist, so I indicate what is fact and what is fiction or theory. And theory, fiction is not the same as theory, of course. Illusion.
Touchdown. Engine stop.
Fake CGI flames.
But it's cool that now I've learned about CC. I didn't know that before.
Watching a movie. All right. Fake phony show. Now let's break down this footage with the supposed celebration after the Blue Origin landed. While everybody's focusing on the people celebrating this fake phony celebration, just like this fake phony rocket launch and landing, here's the issue. Where are the burnt marks from the thrust? There are none. And don't tell me they dragged the Blue Origin to this location to capture this footage for this celebration. Complete garbage. Again, this is all they can give us. Nothing but fakery. Take a look. There you go.
Perfect landing.
Yeah, perfect
we made
landing.
history today.
We made history. Sure you did. All we get is this junk they give us. Complete propaganda. People see it. You know, anything on CNN that's provided by NASA or any of these big companies. Like I said, with Richard Branson, that project was scrapped. And the same thing's going to happen with this project. You're going to see something go wrong, and they're going to say we have to scrap the project. It's completely ridiculous. People believe the moon landing. Nearly 50 years later, this is all we get. You know, it's a complete joke. I'm going to show a little bit of a close.
The cancer-causing killer alcohol is everywhere.
Up, you can see there's absolutely no residue from the supposed rocket thrusters. And again, taking a look at underneath the rocket, at the asphalt, you don't see any burn marks from the thruster rocket. All you see is basically shadows from this rocket itself. This basically nothing more than a prop. That's all it is. Complete fakery, complete garbage, 100% exposed. What's taking place reminds me with this scene from They Live with the Preacher Man, what he says. All that's taking place in this world with the government and the rich and powerful, which are recruited to take part in the deception that's taking place. All part of the Matrix. Take a listen. It's only a few seconds long. It completely adds up to what's taking place in this world.
They have recruited the rich and the powerful, and they have blinded us to the truth.
100% truth. Like I said so many times, truth in movies, lies in the news. Give me a break. Give me a break. Remember, try to forget this garbage. Let's go back to this clown here, who's supposedly an outsider coming to SpaceX asking questions when he tells you with his hands that he's part of this SpaceX scam, hoax. How people can't see the obvious is beyond me. Take a listen to these phonies. Nothing but horrible actors pretending they're all excited, but they know this is nothing but a complete hoax, nothing but an illusion. That's all they give us. Take a listen and take a look. Cannot fake real. The only people that buy this have been indoctrinated in the system of lies. Take a listen.
And land on a shoebox on the ground in a windstorm. That's what's the critical part. Yeah. And I don't think I could throw a pencil over the Empire State Building and catch them on a shoebox. To do. And the crazy thing is, we're like 30 seconds away from this. From this crazy maneuver. This energetic room is a hush. Just getting the last. There it is.
Here's the fake, phony show. Take a look at this garbage. Complete crap. They show the supposed rocket landing from this distance. All we see is a light. Complete garbage. Complete insult to anybody that has half a brain in their head. Keep on watching. You would think you're at a rock concert. What is this fake enthusiasm for this fake show? There you go with the hand signs again.
And I gave someone a jumping hug.
Well, if they're Masons, they probably know that the hand signals don't prove that the rocket landing is fake, etc. So I should give some more evidence, things that prove that the rocket landings are fake. For example, anomalies in the video, in their own video material, and stuff like that. The previous video of the person with the German accent, I think that was a very good video. This is much longer, but sometimes to learn something you have to watch a whole video, especially if you've been watching these videos for 10 years. So finding the truth is not always easy, but the truth defines reality. That's where the idea that it may be hidden in plain sight may come from, but perhaps psychotic people also leave clues of their crimes, and this might be comparable to that. Perhaps some conspiracy theories, conspiracy theorists have examples of how they hide the truth in plain sight. The letter C on the rock on the astronaut pictures, for example, or these desert squirrels, Mojave desert squirrels, on the pictures that are supposedly taken on Mars, etc. That might not be a good example. Enter chemtrails on billboards, for example. Before 1998 there were no chemtrails. You can see that on video and pictures of before 1998. And it proves beyond any reasonable doubt that they're not contrails. They're not normal condensation vapors that these planes have. That was also illustrated by the picture I showed earlier of the nozzles and the engines. But nowadays they have types of chemtrails that are mixed with the fuel, with the jet fuel. Is what I read, but I don't believe anything I read. So if there's anything important, then I'll do some more research, or perhaps even go look for myself with the FEMA camps, for example. If I live in the US, then I'd probably check it out.
It's hard to understand what a big moment, because every single space agency in the world is watching this.
Sure they are. Sure they're watching this. They're all Masons in the game. That includes Russia as well. Russia and the US have always been allies. That fake beef. People say, why won't Russia blow the whistle on the fake moon landing? Of course they won't. The world's
So the FEMA camps are emergency preparedness for when their vaccine works. And then they have the incinerator ovens and the cadaver boxes stored out in the open in Madison, Georgia. That you can see on Google Earth, these satellite pictures, etc. It's quite interesting. And FEMA administrative headquarters are there as well, and CNN, etc. Oh yeah, and the Georgia Guidestones.
a stage, nothing but players playing the masses for fools.
They did. You guys did. It's going. And with this confirmation, we have a successful good orbit for the second stage. We're making preparations to deploy the Orcon satellite. So we are on a novel trajectory for the second stage as well.
Two of the...
Now listen to this guy again. This is what you call duping the light. When he's discussing the launching of the supposed 11 shuttles. And take a listen to him carefully. Another reference to Freemasonry. That's all we get through this whole production.
11 Orbcom Generation 2 satellites separating from the second stage of the Falcon 9 rocket. We have cameras for at least some of those deployments, and those will be coming along shortly.
There's your duping the light. Why is he laughing? He knows it's a fake, phony show. Can't help but bust out laughing. He knows it's not real.
As
yeah, I mean laughing. I'm laughing too,
now
idiot.
the 11 satellites are mated on 3 tiers.
11 satellites are mated on 3 tiers, just like the 311 band. The 311 is a code for 33. Of course, 3 times 11, 33. How many times have I said it? Signs and symbols rule this world. 11, 11, 11 is 33. Everything is in plain sight. You don't understand the occult, it's going to go right over your head. Talking about those that have manipulated the masses. All Freemasons, they're all on the same page. Some are higher up, some are puppets, such as Ozzy Osbourne, lower on the totem pole. You have Darwin here, a Mason, Obama, Kerry, Clinton, Bush, all on the same page, playing the masses for fools. Just more signs and symbols. You see Angela Merkel, the Chancellor of Germany, doing the same hand signs and here with Obama and Michelle, or better known as Michael. Again, with the same hand sign. How obvious can it be? People have been completely deceived. They are completely blinded by these so-called leaders. Nothing more than Luciferians playing you for fools. They make you believe that we came from apes, from monkeys, that we evolved into what we are today. What are we going to evolve into next?
I have the feeling that the video is repeated twice. That I've seen this before. I thought perhaps he's saying something different now. But okay. It's an idea. I could also repeat this video in the broadcast a couple of times. But this is live and people can still Skype Prologic 999. Usually I don't make backups of my broadcasts, so it's advisable if it's a good broadcast to download it, so it's out there, and to put it on a DVD-ROM so that it's not erased by the EMP. To be prepared with the radiological water filter and storable food. It feels good. Just in case. And I think 80 to 90% of the mainstream media is truthful and accurate news. But that what they leave out makes them bad reporters, basically. Hence the fake news also, because there are outright lies. Also, for example, in things they teach in schools, then lies they teach in schools may also be interesting. So we shouldn't trust anyone if we want to become wise. We have to test everything we learn. So what do we all think? Is it better to keep the Iran nuclear deal or to get rid of it? It might be used as an excuse to attack Iran if Trump claims they're not in compliance, whether they are or not. And avoiding World War III is of course a priority, because they cannot pose any threat with nuclear weapons, since Israel and the US have missile shields. Israel is their Iron Dome. So that's no prob, and the scalar weapons have made nuclear weapons obsolete. People can produce healing scalar waves themselves with an SBB coil, or SSB coil, I'd have to look it up. And I can assure you all, Tesla's wireless energy is real. And it's the same thing, scalar waves are wireless energy of Nikola Tesla. So they can have satellites in space that are geosynchronous and beam down the energy from space. Professor Mile has experiment with a boat, and you can do these experiments yourself. And I think we need people that build scalar detectors and something to make the illegal voice-to-skull messages audible. And that's wireless energy. That's not what many targeted individuals claim, that it's a microwave. They're using microwave weapon, but in reality it's scalar waves. Some types travel faster than the speed of light. Perhaps it doesn't make much difference, and I don't know what their plan is with Iran, but I'm for universal peace. So I advise Iran to allow the inspections. The Russian president should be contacted by President Trump before doing anything to have an agreement, so that no world war can arise over Iran. And not to do anything unless you can control the outcome, blah blah. I think that talks are important to reach a peaceful solution. And it's clear Israel has not signed the Nuclear Proliferation Treaty, the NPT, but Iran has. So the strange thing is that they already claimed in the mainstream media that Iran would not allow the inspections, though the IAEA has not been supplied with a list of suspect sites, so they couldn't have attempted to do any inspections yet. It was reported by the New York Times, and I reported it in a broadcast, so I know. And also it's in the agreement that they should allow, that they will allow the inspections in all of their facilities in the addendum. And that agreement can be found online, so people can read it for themselves. So I'm for whatever is best for the people of planet Earth, the people of Iran, the Israeli people, and the people of the US and Europe. The entire world, basically, and a 7-year nuclear winter is not what they're waiting for. So disarm, disarm, disarm. The Alpha and Omega. I have to prepare for dinner. Single ladies are still welcome for this free shiatsu hand massage, to drink some coconut pineapple smoothie. Please like my videos so that I can change the YouTube URL to a typable URL. And think about it, it's really best to promote controlling the factors that control aging instead of more nuclear weapons of self-destruction. We can blow ourselves up how many times according to the sources online. I think that's completely insane, and that we should dismantle all nuclear weapons. It's still far cheaper than a nuclear world war, and that it's too unsafe. Safety first for universal peace now.